Jacob and I have been together for 6 years. Until recently, I hardly saw his family. I can't explain why, but they always seemed to be somehow strange, even a little scary. But there was no logical explanation for this, so I kept my doubts to myself. Fortunately, they lived in another state, and as a rule they came to us a couple of times a year for one day. I haven't been to their house until this summer. I had to trust my instincts. Then it wouldn't have ended like this. Jacob rarely saw his parents, so I decided to agree to his next request to visit them for a few days in the summer. I was embarrassed that in the car on the way to them, he explained to me that I need to adhere to some rules of being in the house. What nonsense, I thought. It's just a weekend in the country. One of the rules was not to go after sunset alone to the first floor, where the kitchen is located. I also had to leave the pectoral cross in the car, which I wear around my neck. If I hear something strange, don't go into the corridor, but stay in the room. Don't ask too many questions. He also said that mice live in the basement, and I shouldn't be afraid of their gnashing. Parents tried to get them out, but so far it hasn't worked. I don't remember the rest of the rules, but there were a lot of them. When I got out of the car, I saw a huge old house, usually shown in scary films. Well-groomed, beautiful, but there was something repulsive in it. The first evening went well. His parents showed me the house. Jacob's mother had already cooked dinner and set the table. I was asked to bring potato salad from the second shelf from refrigerator. I was embarrassed by the huge bag of raw meat in it. But I thought that Jacob's mom was ready to receive guests and will cook something delicious tomorrow. We were tired from the road, and after dinner we immediately went to bed. Our room was located on the second floor. I had nightmares all night, and it even seemed that when I woke up at night I heard strange sounds of growling and champing from the kitchen. One of the rules was not to go to the kitchen at night, but curiosity didn't let me lie down and silently listen to these frightening sounds. Jacob had been sleeping for a long time, and I decided to quietly go and check what was happening there. Holding my breath, I slowly descended the stairs, the sounds getting louder. Looking around the corner, I saw a disgusting and frightening sight. Jacob's parents bent over a raw piece of meat on the table, greedily devouring it with their fangs. Their eyes glowed red, and their fingers bore hideous long claws. Frightened, I pressed myself against the wall and slowly climbed back into the bedroom. All night I lay silently looking at the ceiling and didn't know what to do. In the morning Jacob asked me what happened, but I couldn't say anything. Maybe it was just a terrible dream? Until the evening everything was fine. The husband's parents were friendly and attentive. It seemed that what I saw in the kitchen wasn't there. These nice people can't do that. That night it was even worse. I woke up to a human scream and then more glows and champs. It has crossed all boundaries. I was sure it didn't seem to me. Waking up Jacob, I decided to ask what was going on. He was very angry, because one of the rules was not to ask too many questions, but I couldn't be silent. "I told you not to ask questions," Jacob said to me. "How so? Why can't he just explain to me what was going on?" I decided that I would figure everything out myself. The next day we planned to go shopping together to the city. In the morning, citing a sore head from an excess of oxygen in the village, I stayed at home. I needed to carefully examine the whole house. Something is sure to be found. After looking around all the rooms and the kitchen, I didn't find anything unusual. A small door to the basement caught my attention, but it was closed. The scratching behind it wasn't like the rustling of mice. I looked everywhere for the key to the basement, but I didn't find it. Jacob and his parents walked in just as I was trying to pick the lock with a hairpin. I was carried away by the process and didn't notice how they entered. We silently looked at each other. Jacob uttered only one phrase. "I asked you. You ruined everything." Parents offered to drink coffee. Jacob was visibly nervous. He said that perhaps we were overstayed and it was time to go home. Coffee seemed unusual to me. I felt much sleepy. I went upstairs for a little rest before dinner and woke up in some dark place. My head ached terribly. There was a strong smell of mold, and my hands were squeezed by something hard. So I sat for about half an hour, and then the room was lit up by light. The door opened. I was in the basement. At first I saw only a silhouette due to sitting in the dark for a long time. Then I realized it was Jacob. I asked you. You made the same mistake as Aaron, he said. Aaron is his ex-girlfriend, about whom he really didn't like to talk about. Now they won't let you go. I asked him to let me go, but my efforts were in vain. I promised I wouldn't tell anyone, and besides I didn't even know what was going on there. I understood that Jacob's parents, and maybe he himself, were some kind of monsters, but I didn't have any proof. Nobody will believe me anyway. But he sadly looked at me, apologized, and left closing the door behind him.